What is volume? Volume starts with area. Area applies to two-dimensional objects. It's how much carpet we can lay on the floor, how much paint we can put up on the wall, how much dry erase marker I could use on this entire board. Volume applies to three-dimensional surfaces. It really kind of builds off the idea that a three-dimensional surface is made up of several two-dimensional surfaces. You'll find that the formula for volume builds off of the formula for finding area, which we know is length times width. You started doing that back in 3rd grade. Volume uses the third characteristic, height. And it's a measurement of how much stuff is inside a three-dimensional object. How much water a glass can hold. How many of them little white popcorn peanuts you can put in a box. How much air you can cram into a balloon. That stuff is volume, and we can measure that mathematically. When we measured area, we referred to it as feet squared. Volume, because it has a third characteristic, height, you're going to measure in units cubed, which in the example here I have feet. The equation for volume builds off area and actually has length times width just like area, but also multiplies by height. So let's take a look at an example of some things that we might see. Volume is what is inside this box. Here I have a rectangular prism. It has a width of 2, a length of 4, but it has a height of 8. It's 8 units tall. The area for volume, the formula for volume is length times width times height. Length times width, just like the area, 2 times 4 if you were just looking at this bottom square, but then multiplied by the height, 8. Well, then we know that 4 times 2 is 8. We multiply 8 times 8, we get 64. Could you do 2 times 8 is 16? Sure, because multiplication is commutative. And we express that in units cubed. Now, our units could be feet, it could be inches, it could be meters, whatever they put here. And if we put nothing there, then we know that it's just units cubed. You might also see volume problems where you're given the surface area. For example, in this cube, or this rectangular prism, the surface area of the lid is 16 feet squared. They've already done the length times width part. They've said length times width is 16 feet squared. So all we have to do is take that third characteristic of height and multiply the area, the length times width, which is this, by the height. So we have 16, not 16 times 16. It's already been done for you. Length times width together is 16. 16 multiplied by the height of 10, we end up with 160 feet cubed. You might also see problems where you just take the 3 measurements out of the word problem. For example, let's look at Bill and his fish tank. Bill's fish tank is 2 meters long, 1.5 meters wide, and 2 meters high. How many cubic meters of water can it hold? If you're ever given a word problem that deals with volume or area, I always tell children, draw yourself a diagram for nothing else than just to write down the information that you're given. All right, and it doesn't even have to be perfect. I'm drawing Bill's fish tank. It's a rectangular prism. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. And it doesn't even have to be to scale as long as I can put my measurements in it. It's 2 meters long. It's 1.5 meters wide. And then it's 2 meters high. Oh, I forgot the meter sign right there. Okay? Now I just apply my formula. Length times width, just like the area, times height. I get 2 meters times 1.5 meters times 2 meters. That ends up with 4 meters times 1.5 meters. So all I did there was multiply 2 times 2 first because I know what that is off the top of my head. Multiplication being commutative. I take 1.5 multiplied by 4, I get 6.0. Now remember that when you multiply decimals, the number of places in the factors combined that are behind the decimal, 1 here and 0 here, have to be in the answer. So there has to be one number behind the decimal. And your answer is, Bill's fish tank can hold 6 cubic meters of water. That's a big fish tank, though, because 2 meters is like the length of a man. A full-grown man, not a little man. I want you to try it. Remember, you can watch the video and to go back and look at the explanations as many times as you need to. In the left-hand column, you need to be writing questions that the information could be the answer to, or questions you have that you need to clarify during discussion. But I would like you to first find me the volume of this cube. It is 6 inches by 6 inches by 6 inches. Remember to use the formula, length times width times height. It's like a little baby block. I also want you to find the volume for this, B. I'm telling you the length is 10 meters. I'm telling you the width is 6 meters. And I'm telling you the height is 4 meters. I'm not really telling you what the shape is or putting it in context. I'm just giving you the numbers. It could be a trailer. It could be a stage. Take your pick. I don't care. And then for those of you that really think you got it, I want you to check this one out. I'm giving you this cylinder. If I'm telling you that the surface area of the top is 12 inches squared, and I'm telling you that my cylinder is 16 inches high, can you use what you've learned in this video to find me the volume? See you tomorrow.